Welcome to Valley Homes on TV. I'm Debbie in the Heart Giordano, and we're here with Todd Flesner, my co-host. And welcome, Todd.
Welcome, Deb.
And happy 2017.
New year is here.
It's here, yes.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great year. Yeah.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're glad that folks have tuned in to us. And
Yep.
as we head into 2017, we appreciate people joining us here on
We do.
Valley Homes on
And
TV.
Todd, they can watch us on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6:30 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m.
Right, terrific.
Yeah. So you brought a guest today?
I did. My friend Tara Marple. Tara's a nutritionist. And with New Year, often folks are thinking about their health, nutrition, diets, exercise, and Tara is the expert on that. So I thought she'd be great to have come in. So welcome, Tara.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I'm so glad to be back.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so
Look terrific.
Great to have you. Now, you've been here with us before, and we appreciate you coming back. But again, with the first of the year, it's a great time because people are really thinking about themselves, right? And what they might commit themselves to. Before we start on that journey, though, talking about that, tell folks a little bit about yourself and as a nutritionist, what it is that you do.
Well, I grew up in a very small town, and I grew up in the garden.
Yeah.
And, I learned the value of good nutrition that is close to the earth and preserving it through the winter, and to be able to also eat semi-fresh throughout the winter. So I have that discipline, I think, sitting around the table every night with the balanced meal. And I noticed that not everyone had that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, I try to bring my clients back to the basics of, learning about how to balance a meal and how to customize it for themselves. So ever since I was a teenager, I started reading books about nutrients and vitamins and minerals, and it was a natural career for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to actually go to a school that taught me how to coach people through their obstacles.
Okay.
Instead of assign food and meal plans, and to coach them through the things that always seem to get in their way when they try to eat healthy.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, good. So
let me just let me add to that. So we talk about your background, and when did you come to this area, and what do you like about living in the Bay Area?
I came quite in my 20s. Only a couple of years ago.
I'm sure. You're not even 18.
And so what I like about this area is that there's so many different options to go out to eat. It's California cuisine, right? It seems pretty clean. And then also there's a lot of space to grow, and there's a lot of sun to grow your own food, and just generally to get outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, good. So you help coach people kind of with their nutrition, their lifestyle, and their habits. So let's talk a little bit more about that. I mean, because it's a fast-paced lifestyle here in the Bay Area. It's real easy to go through the drive-through, right? So how is it that you help folks in that regard?
Luckily, there are a lot of options now to go through food prep, order food already prepped or already cooked for you that doesn't cost that much more. Mm-hmm. You can also order like Instacart and things like that to get things delivered from the grocery store. So I've used that. I don't grow all of my own food or make my own food. So we have to get realistic, right? What can we fit into our lives? What are the logistics we're dealing with? A lot of people are really busy. They work 12 hours a day. They have kids. So coming up with solutions for them, and then also helping them pick what they would eat out of that and what is best for them.
Okay.
All right.
Good. So what kind of clients do you work with? And you said what?
I like all ages.
All
I really
ages?
do. Yeah, I mean, I have a son. I love working with kids because they're so excited to learn. And I love working with older people as well because they can start to feel younger right away. Mm-hmm. And they can feel the difference. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, what I love working with is men and women, families who are teaching their children the good habits, and they're extra, I guess they're extra motivated in that case.
Good. So what are some of the common struggles that folks you work with have, and how do you help them with that?
I mean, we already mentioned the time.
Right.
It's an issue. The other thing is prioritizing it, right? We put on our calendars our work and our obligations to other people, but we forget to schedule time to focus on what's going to keep us healthy.
Okay.
Do you agree with that? Yeah.
I agree with that, totally. And what could be more important? You know, you live in your body, it's got to perform, it's got to operate.
Definitely
has
affects
to
our mood. Yeah, it affects our decision-making ability.
So let's just jump right in. We talked offline before we started the show about New Year's resolutions and new beginnings for people. So where do you begin? You got a brand new year. Let's start at the core. Where do you begin? What's the process?
Yeah, for some reason we pick the new year to make a resolution, right? I try to teach my clients to welcome that type of mindset every day, especially when they decide that they're just way too frustrated about the status quo and want to do something about it. So since everyone's got it on their mind, I do have a lot of people reaching out right now and wanting to come up with a plan and plan their entire year. So I break it down into really small steps for them.
So you want to look at the year in its entirety first. Is that
their goal would be, for example, I want to get healthy.
Okay.
And how do you want to do that? So I help them break it down into smaller steps. First of all, you're going to, for example, eat 2 cups of raw vegetables with your dinner.
Okay.
Sounds boring, but
it's simple, isn't it?
But it gives you something to shoot for. It gives you something. Okay, she told me I need to shoot for this. This is my one thing that I need to take care of.
One thing. Okay.
Yes. And then once you get that, then we work on water. How many ounces of water are you going to get in one day? And once you reach that, then you can get something else. And so I find people, what's my thing this month to actually make sure I accomplish this health goal this year.
Okay.
Right. And you find that that's a particularly effective way to help people achieve those goals.
Yeah, sometimes it's too overwhelming for them. They don't know where to start.
Okay, and I don't know if it's on our list of questions, but I would like to ask you. So we say get healthy. How is that measurable? How do you begin to really know if you've arrived or you've met your goal?
Well, we will never arrive.
Uh-oh.
That's the good thing. We will never
that'll keep you in business. Yeah.
But there's always something new to learn. There's always the next level of health. And I don't think we should shoot for a destination. I think we should shoot for daily, like feeling better, sleeping better, which is a very good place to start.
Okay. Yeah, good. So, what are some of the common pitfalls that you find people falling into? You've helped them set these goals, and where do you find that people oftentimes maybe get off track? And are there some ways or tips you can give to help people stay on track with what their goals are?
Okay, so a lot of times, most of the times, even it's the time again. Back to that. But pitfalls, I would think looking online and finding a diet that someone else has had success with.
Okay.
Or talking to your friends.
I don't do that. No. I really do. I've been through a lot of diet programs, but I've given up with trying to model something after somebody else. You're right. That may not work.
We have to stay in tune to what our body's asking for.
Yeah.
Talking to your peers, and I had a client recently that said, my friends are going on the potato and fruit diet, and they've lost 10 pounds in a couple weeks, and I thought, you're already past that. You're already healthier than that. They're just starting, so they're going to lose some muscle if they eat that much potatoes and fruit, but we want to keep our muscle. So that should be the goal. It shouldn't be losing weight. It should be keeping our muscle, because that's the basis of health, and making sure we're nourished.
Okay. All right.
Good.
So, so we talked about age groups. You work with all age groups, and we actually talked about measuring success. So, what other considerations do folks have? What are other needs that they come to you with?
Well, I think a lot of people come to me thinking that it's not going to be fun. They think it's going to be torture.
How could it not be fun working with you, Tara?
Right? They think it's going to be torture. They think they have to give up everything that they love. And that's totally not true, especially with me. My son tells me, Mama, I say, well, let's go get some ice cream. And he says, you can't do that. You're a nutritionist. And I said, well, I'm still human. And I've made sure that my metabolism is healthy enough to be able to process a treat when I decide to do that. And, you can still keep your wine if that's your goal, right? Uh-huh. But let's make sure everything else is strong so that your body can handle it.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Terrific. What is it that you really like about what you do? What are the rewards for you?
I mean, in particular, there's one client who, I love telling stories. Uh-huh. A man who came, he was 350. And he lost half of his body weight. Wow. And in the meantime, he nurtured his relationship with his daughter because they did it together. They learned how to cook together. They learned, how to balance their meals. They took walks together. And she's a teenager, right? He thought he would be doing it all himself. And it changed everything in his life. It changed his career. It changed his retirement. It changed his finances, everything. So,
wow.
We don't just talk about food. We talk about all the things that affect the decisions you make towards food.
And so rewards, so challenges. What are the challenges?
I think the challenges, one of them would be thinking that it's torture. Yeah, that's a challenge, to try to talk them into...
reinventing their mindset and changing. We talked about that also. We can throw that into the conversation here about changing the way you think and the way you process.
Yes.
And so how do you go about doing that with someone?
And that's where the coaching comes in.
Okay.
So we talk as long as they want to talk. We talk about their childhood. We talk about where they came up with the idea about their own health and where they came up with their habits. And we try to untie them by asking where it came from. Does it still serve them? Do they like the results? You know what I mean? So it's a lot of high mileage questions and letting them and listening. And then challenging that belief.
Nice.
Good.
Positive thinking.
Yeah, so they're really, what are the benefits then for someone working with a coach? I know you've probably laid some of those out, but how do you see that really makes a difference for somebody who's committed to making a change, particularly in their health?
Well, it's very personalized. Like I said, it's that's where the coaching part comes in. We talk about their specific lives and the challenges they have. It's very hard to read about someone else's story and follow. It's never going to work that you're going to follow exactly what they did. And your body is different. Blood typing is different. Body type is different. Metabolism. The way you react to protein and carbs, especially, is different. The way you react to stress. Your hormone levels are a big factor, so we always look at that to determine how you're going to handle the stress of working out, because that is a stress on the body. So we have to see what kind of workout is going to be best for them, and we factor all of that in.
And part of it is the aging process, isn't it? How that I think that catches folks off guard. They might have gotten away 20, 30 years ago eating different things, but they can't do it now.
And they tend to
be
just
retrained, right?
Yeah, they tend to just cut back on calories, which means that they're getting less nutrients.
That's nutrient. Okay, yeah. Right. So, do you have a website or contact information we can give to folks?
So I work with a team.
Okay.
And the website is intentio.com.
Okay.
And I have a nutrition services page where you can read some testimonials and stories that I like to write stories. Yeah. So I've interviewed a lot of my clients and also some program options. So we have a blog as well, a lot of recipes.
And phone number or email contact information?
So email is Tara, T-A-R-A, at Intentio, INTENTIO.com.
Got it.
Terrific.
Good.
Well, Tara, it's always just a delight to have you on. We appreciate you coming here and
Thank
sharing
you.
some of your tips for folks for the new year and how they might.
You're going to make me leave now?
We're done. Let's go. We're done. We're going to all go back to work. We're not done. We're workaholics. So, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure seeing you again.
The following is a public service announcement test to determine if you need a fishing license and boat registration before you head out on the water. Let us begin. Are you a pelican? Does this look like your house? Is this your idea of fishing with friends? Do you use your feet as fishing hooks? Are you your own boat? Do you have webbed feet? No, I mean like a... That's the one. Do you want this in your favorite lake? Yuck, yike. No thanks, mister. Regardless how you answered, you need to be licensed and registered because it helps local conservation efforts protect the very natural resources you enjoy boating and fishing in for generations to come. Do your part at takemefishing.org.
Welcome back, everyone. You're watching Valley Homes on TV. I'm Debbie Giordano.
Todd Flesner.
Yeah, yay, yay! And we're here to talk about the wrap up for January 2017, which we're almost done with this month. Can you believe it?
Yeah, 2016 has flown by. There's been a lot of changes.
Yes.
Things are a little bit different in the real estate and the lending environment. So,
well, let's start. We talked offline. So this is day number 6 of the new Trump administration.
That's correct.
And I pointed out to you that the stock market today zoomed to over 20,000.
First time ever at that level.
At that level, and the NASDAQ. So we call it the Trump bump. Is
the
that
Trump bump is what we're referring to it as, and
right.
Yeah. So we've talked before on this program about the tug of war, right, for investment money, stock market versus the bond market, and on speculation that Trump is going to be good for business, rolling back regulation, making it easier on business in the future. That has led to a surge in the stock market, and so those returns that folks are now seeing in the stock market.
Would you call that optimistic, or
a
sense of optimism, or what leads to that?
Well, yeah, I think that there's a sense of optimism that there's a more business-friendly sort of environment in the future. I think some of the regulation that's been a part of the scenery here with the Obama administration has had an effect of really kind of stifling some of business. And it's caused a level of uncertainty for business with new regulation coming on board and not knowing where constraints are. And so the optimism or the prospect of maybe some freedom from some of the regulation, I think, is leading to a sense of optimism in the business sector.
So we've seen interest rates go up a little bit.
Yes, we have.
What's your feeling? Has that affected... You told me last week you were doing a lot of pre-approvals for buyers, or
absolutely.
So, what are the buyers? What does that aspect look like right now?
Well, I think people are encouraged about the future as well, because employment prospects here in the Bay Area are good.
Okay.
And so folks are still interested in buying homes. Yeah, interest rates are up a little bit. They're 0.5 to 0.75% from what they were prior to the election, but still historically very, very affordable.
Okay.
Jumbo loans are at 4.25% roughly.
And jumbo, Todd, is what loan value?
636 and above. We have a new
number.
number now, but
okay.
But that's the vast majority of property here in the Bay Area falls into the jumbo lending range, and those are still very affordable rates.
Okay.
So folks are clamoring. They want to get into properties. I think we're going to probably talk a little bit about the tightening of the market.
Yeah.
In terms of inventory.
Sure. Well, I had an open house 2 weekends ago, and had 100+ families through. That was right here in Milpitas.
Right.
So there's no, less demand from the buyer's side. But you're right. The inventory is extremely low. Today, there's only not even 20 homes for sale in the city of Milpitas. Wow. That's extremely low at this time. We have 18 pending sales, and we'll get into the numbers. But I wanted to talk to you about one thing that popped up. How do you handle a faulty foundation?
Okay. How do I handle it?
How do you handle it?
Or how do you handle it?
Well, I don't really have that problem, but clients of mine that have in the 39 years that I've been doing the business, what we have here is, particularly in Milpitas, we have a soil that expands and contracts. So
Correct.
You've got wintertime soil expansion, and my goodness, the drought's over. We've had so much rain.
That's
so
right.
we may be seeing a lot of the foundations that are going to be shifting as a result of this adobe soil with the expansion and contraction. And then in the summertime, there's another settlement when everything dries up. So that's one. Rainwater needs to be directed away from the foundation. And that's usually revealed when the termite inspection or property inspection comes up, that they note those kind of things. And speaking of that, many times when a buyer does their report and have a home inspection, if the inspector in the crawl area notices any vertical or horizontal cracking, they will call for a foundation specialist to come out. And that's the time that we usually get somebody out that's just a specialist.
Right.
They tend to kind of find things. It's like anything. They'll find work to do, so you kind of have to balance. Is it really truly an issue that's going to impact the the structural integrity of the home? So, but that's done. And then buyers should ask for any previous foundation reports on a house. And then, again, foundation repairs, they could be minor or major. So let's talk about the different types of inspections that we can do.
Okay.
Termite. We've had a termite inspector here on the show. In fact, we probably are overdue to have somebody back again to talk about that. There's drywood termites, subterraneans, which are the ones that are in the ground, and then dry rot is what those termite inspectors find. And then the property and home inspection looks for electrical, plumbing, roof issues, or you can do a separate roof report by a licensed roofing contractor. And then the other report, not done very often but is available, is an asbestos report, where the asbestos in the home can be tested to see if it's fraying or if there's any.
Right, we've had a guest on the program that does it as well.
Yeah.
And what about chimneys?
I didn't add that to my list, and that in my world, a property inspector, they will go ahead and check the chimney.
Okay.
But if they see a crack or see an issue, they'll note that on the report and then call for a chimney contractor to come out.
Terrific.
So thank you for bringing that up. So let's talk about inventory. Not just only inventory, but the pricing is gone out of sight.
Has it?
Yes. So here's our new numbers. In December of 2016, we have a new average single-family price in Milpitas of $982,048.
My goodness.
I know. And a year ago, it was at $804,000. I knew it was going to hit. And then the median price is $876,500 in just last month. And a year ago, it was at $755,000. So we've seen a really good $100,000 appreciation in pricing here in Milpitas. And then condos and townhouses. Last month in December 2016, the average price was $645,000, and a year ago it was $573,000. And then the median price is $620,000, and a year ago that median price was $596,000. So a little bit not as fast appreciation. I've been saying this for the last 12 to 24 months. You buy a single-family detached home without any HOA dues. You don't have any of that additional costs added to it. Those single-family homes are going to really grow because we're not building any more of those in Milpitas. So.
Right, so becoming more and more scarce for folks.
More and more scarce, yeah.
Well, and as we talked about, inventory here in Milpitas is real low. Even throughout the county, what I saw was like 550 homes in the entire county. Of Santa Clara County.
Yeah,
So
just
that's just
very low.
Region-wide.
Hopefully we'll have some more inventory that's going to be coming up soon for all these buyers that are looking to buy.
Yeah, folks are interested in buying, and traditionally, what Super Bowl weekend is when they say the new buying season starts, right? So.
Well, I've got an open house this weekend prior to the Super Bowl, and I'll report that in. But the phone's already ringing off the hook. So.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, folks. Happy New Year, and if you have questions about the show, want to get in contact with us, Deb, where can folks get?
Email address is Giordano, GIORDANODJ @AOL.com.
Or email for me is tflesner @opusadvisors.com. And again, happy 2017. Thanks for joining us.
See you next time.